7 things Hades doesn't teach you. God Pool locking. One of the least understood mechanics in the game to manipulate, God Pool locking is basically the 4 to 6 gods you can get during a run. What I mean by that is you can encounter rooms with every god during your escape. However, the game will lock you with the first 4 gods boons you picked. There's a chance to get a maximum of 1 different god boon during the Satyr room cleanup. However, most of the time it's not the best pick as you already have your build figured out by that point, and adding another god to the mess could be more negatively impactful than helpful. My advice is to learn which gods have basic synergy and then go for a build based off the first 4 boons you found. Duo boon requirements. Getting a duo boon can help immensely during your ascent of the underworld. However, it takes more than finding the 2 required gods during a run. Every duo boon has a list of specific things you need in advance in order for it to enter the reward pool. So once those things are met, every boon you get from either of the required gods has a slight chance to be the duo boon. This is another reason why you want to have the foundation of your build laid out with your first 4 boons, because the quicker you choose the corresponding abilities, the quicker you'll get your duo boons. Boon rarity. Every boon in Hades is assigned a rarity when it is generated, with common, rare, epic, and heroic giving you increasingly stronger effects. There are many things you can do to influence the rarity you've been getting, such as upgrading talents like God's Pride at the Mirror using keepsakes, and also chaos boons have a chance to give you the upgraded rarity for god boons. These bonuses only affect how powerful the chosen boon is. They don't change which boons get selected in the first place. Because of that, a common boon with great synergy is often much stronger than an epic one that doesn't fit your build. Hermes timing. So we all know our legendary messenger friend Hermes, right? Well, if you didn't know, he follows his own unique spawning rules and isn't considered part of your god pool. Instead of spawning completely randomly, he spawns after a certain number of chambers are cleared during your run. You can usually find 2 Hermes boons, one near the beginning of Asphodel and one near the beginning of Elysium before you get to the final boss. If you have the luck, you can get up to 4 Hermes boons using things like Charon's Shop and Charon's Stash. Since Hermes uses a different system, seeing him doesn't reduce your chances of encountering any other Olympians, so in knowing this, try to plan your builds knowing you can get maximum 4 Hermes boons per run if you're lucky. Well of Charon odds. Every Well of Charon generates 3 random items from its own generation pool. Effects are purposefully rarer than others, so certain purchases may only occasionally appear across many runs. My advice is to check every well you come across to give yourself a higher chance of finding that kiss of Styx you so desperately need. Chamber generation. Although Hades' rooms feel completely random, which chamber spawns in actually follows a long list of rules to keep runs fair and balanced. The game controls how often things like shops, centaur hearts, and palms appear, so that players are required to make those decisions where there's no turning back. Boss chambers and god trials also have their own requirements before appearing. My advice for optimal runs is to take the more challenging run every time. If you have a choice between an Athena boon or a god trial between Artemis and Dionysus, taking the harder room may seem bad, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't send you back to the House of Hades, you just earned yourself 1 extra boon. Satyr Sack algorithm. The old Satyr Sack. It isn't placed in a room at random, despite what the game leads you to believe. The sack is guaranteed to not spawn on the first chamber you select, and then has a 50% chance of spawning on every subsequent chamber after the first. If you didn't get it 4 chambers, it is guaranteed to spawn in the last one. Cerberus just got real hungry hearing about Satyr Sacks. But anyways, thanks for watching. This has been 7 things Hades doesn't teach you. Subscribe for more.